Hello, I am Tianyi Lu and I am the Female Conductor Resident at the Welsh National Opera. I was in university doing a composition degree. My first ambition was to be a composer, and particularly for movies and theatre. That was sort of my dream. And I came across it because I had to conduct my own piece in a high school orchestra. And that was what got me into it, but what made me continue was the feeling I experienced when I stepped on the podium. I just felt so at home. I felt safe. I felt incredibly empowered by empowering other people, and to create, to be the conduit of energy between the musicians and creating something so wonderful. And in that moment, I think I was just completely hooked from that moment on. So a few years ago, I studied in Cardiff at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama with David Jones, wonderful conservatoire, and part of that training was to work a little bit at the Welsh National Opera. So I came in, I observed some rehearsals, and I was also fortunate enough to be part of the youth and community engagement team. So I was assistant conductor for two wneud youth projects, one with Alice Farnham, it was Camilla Tonin, which was an amazing project to be part of, and the other one was a project with Stephen McNeff, an opera he wrote. So it actually feels like coming home to come back to Cardiff and to be here again. When I did my audition, I saw some familiar faces. And it will be really lovely to actually spend a good amount of time here to get to know people, to make connections, to learn, and to bring my energy to the team as well. I'm really excited to be able to work with this new production, with the team on this production. I'll be really excited to see what happens, what Joe will come up with, Joe Davies. And I think when you have such a well-known opera and you mix it in with a new production, sparks always happen, because every new production brings a new element, brings new perspectives to something that is very well known. So I think that for me will be the most interesting aspect, is to see how new ingredients will combine to create a new dish, and that aspect I find really extraordinarily exciting. So I'm really passionate about bringing opera, classical music, art music to all audiences. And actually, I think it's almost every conductor says this, but I think that all projects, main stage operas, they all should be community engagements. I mean, they are all community engagements. So, of course, we have departments for education and community, and I think wneud is exceptionally done well in this field. But I think at the end of the day, as musicians, we only communicate through working with our communities. The orchestra itself, the opera chorus, the singers that come, we become a family. We are a family. We are a community. And then when the audience comes from all different backgrounds, then that becomes another community. So at the end of the day, it's about communication, it's about reaching out. So I think education and community engagement should be equal to all main stage, and main stage things should be community. When we start thinking like that, when we start thinking in terms of our art form as serving, as expressing, as being a mirror to our society, that's when true impact happens. And you see it happening everywhere around the world. And to those who say, classical music is inaccessible or is dying, it's a dying art form, think again. I really think that it will always be accessible if we are open-minded and if we are willing to reach out. I think that is so important in all aspects of the art form, and it is the key to the future of the art form.